Guess who's back? Back again.
This
Third
motherfucker
boy's
boy.
back. We brought friends. No, I'm just playing.
Oh, this motherfucker, man.
Yo, we got another video for y'all, and we got guests this time.
It's gonna be
Um,
two?
ah, no, you read the title, so you know what we're talking about. Everybody's, New Year's is just about to come through. uh 2020. A lot of people focus on the actual year, but this is a whole new decade. And what that means is we had a lot of different stuff that happened in the past 10 years, especially if you're an adult now. I know when the last decade started, I was still in fucking school. So uh we're you read the title. Everybody's gonna run through and give their favorite games. His favorite fighting games this decade. So we're gonna go and everybody's gonna introduce themselves. We're just gonna go ahead and get into it. Uh, Shake.
Oh, what's up, everybody? It's Master Shake. I have a better
Mike
mic.
Fix, y'all.
Hashtag Mike Fix. Founder and competitor for House of M Gaming.
All right, HarmOLA. Former guest. Go ahead.
What's it? Do you want me to give me my favorite game now?
No, we just.
Oh, okay. Hey, man. Well, y'all just heard AK Man. You checking in with HarmOLA, aka Harm Kakarot Jordan, back at it with the Nerd Boys, like a crack addict bitch. And
Wait a minute.
That game was bars, yo.
yeah, man. That's my little intro, man.
Crono.
Yo, you know what it is. You know what I do. That purple.
Got purple.
Something Nerd Boys podcast. There we go.
Oh man. So AK building. I think we should let Shake go first, considering he runs a goddamn fight tournament thing, whatever you want to call it. Shake, give us your favorite 5 fight games this decade. Somebody is mad.
Yeah, somebody need to turn their fucking volume
I think
down.
it's Shake.
Was it me?
Yeah, I'm echoing off you.
Man, Shake, there's always something wrong with your mic quality every single time. You got back feed, you got echo. Come on, man, what's going on?
What about now?
There we go.
There we go.
Okay. What had happened was I had to turn my headset off because somebody called me, and I got mad. I'm like, God damn it! So anyway, okay, sorry, nerd boys. My bad.
Okay. All right.
Fucking up y'all stuff. All right, now I had to reset my headset. Okay,
That dub
All right.
call, y'all.
man. Top 5 fighting games of the
With
decade for me.
Yep, we're gonna start with 5. Everybody's gonna go down the line, then 4. Everybody go down the line, so we don't just have one person talking for forever.
Okay, so I'd have to say my number 5 is actually one that came out this year because I was a big fan of this growing up, but I was never any good at it, and this gave me a chance to really dive deeper into this game. I'm gonna say Sam Show was my number 5. Samurai Showdown for PS4, Xbox. I'm gonna give it to Sam Show. I'm gonna start with because honestly, in my top 5 list are games that are way fucking older. So
Right.
Yeah.
Harm.
My number 5, probably. I literally was just talking about this on Facebook. Probably Ultimate Marvel 3, because that was before before I even really got into fighting games like that. I bought it just because it was Marvel, because I was big on Marvel growing up. So like, just really the nostalgia factor, because I was pretty young back when I bought it. I did not know how to play that shit though, but that's definitely gonna be my number 5.
Crono.
As much as I hate this fucking game, I'm gonna give it to DBZ Fighters, just because how it's revolutionizing how we look at anime fighters. Not in the sense of like a Blaz Blue, but more of a sense of Ninja Storm, Xenoverse, how it's actually changing the perception of anime fighters. Much as I hate that fucking game and it's a trash game, but for what it's doing for the fight, it's a trash game. What it's doing for the fight game community, I have nothing but respect for that. At least at that.
My number 5, I'm gonna take it all the way back. If you know me personally, and we grew up together, and we went to, the library playing motherfucking tournaments there. Y'all know exactly what the fuck I'm about to say. Clash of the Ninja 2 on the GameCube. I'm so upset we didn't get the rest of those, but that game was one of the best. Is the best when in terms of just straight up fighting. Is one of the best fighting games for Naruto ever. And I'm not talking about presentation, because when you go off of presentation, it's not that pretty, especially when you compare it to today. But as far as like execution, the combos, depth, and that stuff, the stuff we was pulling off back in the day on that game was amazing. So that's my number 5, Clash of the Ninja 2. I'm gonna split it up, and Harm, what's your number 4?
Number 4, man, I'm gonna go ahead and say, I'll say Tekken 7, because I want to place it higher, but I really just started getting into it like that, so I don't feel like I've been playing long enough to place it higher than what I would like to be at. So yeah, I'm gonna say Tekken 7, man. I've been enjoying that recently.
Shake.
My number 4, if it's okay, they're both tied because they're pretty much the same series, but I pretty much love them both the same. And we played them a lot at HOM, aka you. I'm gonna give my number 4 to Mortal Kombat 9 and Mortal Kombat X. They're both on the same.
I like that.
Yeah, because I liked Mortal Kombat X. It's probably one of the first Mortal Kombats I put real hours into learning combos. Mortal Kombat 9 was my favorite from the look and the story. It also had my favorite guest character of all time, which is the Predator, because that is my favorite movie character of all time. Yeah, man, those were 2 of my favorite ones. MKX had a way better netcode. They were one of the first to really show y'all, okay, if our netcode's trash, this is how you fix it. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of these games, the netcode's trash, we'll try to add a little bit to it here and there. We'll try to fix it and let you kind of skate by with it. But MKX really fixed their stuff from MKX to MKXL versions. They really fixed the netcode. So I really appreciated that.
Okay, Crono?
I'm gonna say BlazBlue. And it's because when I was in the military, I'll never forget. BlazBlue is the second game. It's one higher on the list I'm gonna talk about later. It's the second game where me and my homeboy would spend 6-7 hours. Literally, we'll get off work, get out our candies, chill with our girls for a minute, come back to the barracks, and we would play from 11 o'clock at night till it was time to PT at 5 o'clock in the morning. We'll just sit there and play BlazBlue all fucking night. So it's more of a memory thing for me. I think it's an excellent game. Like, I think it's one of the top. It's top 3. It's top 3 of current gen fighting games, but there's a game that I have to put above it that's technically not more current gen, but it is. But yeah, I'm gonna put BlazBlue at number 4.
Okay. I'm retarded, so I gave a game that came out in the mid 2000s.
I didn't want to say that, but I was like, all right, it's his list. It's his list. So,
oh god! But to fix that up, what I'm going to say is my number 5 for real would probably be Persona 4 Arena. That game was one of the first games where I actually felt attachment to a character that I didn't have previous knowledge to. You know how a lot of fighting games you have, history with? Sometimes you get introduced into a franchise via the most stupidest way. I had no idea what the fuck Persona was before that game. And I'm a TA main till this day because of that game. I know it was very user friendly as far as with beginners with the auto combos. That was the first game I ever played. They had legit auto combos. But when you dig into it deeper, that really shows that it was pretty much the groundwork for my number 4 pick, which is Dragonball Fighters. Fuck what Crono say. That game is fucking amazing. That is legit.
Facts.
That game is legit the best Dragon Ball Z game ever to come out. And if you don't agree with me, you obviously haven't put that many hours in. The fact of how deep that shit gets, like, I know a lot of people don't like the auto combos, but if you put time into it, a person doing auto combos is not gonna beat anybody who's put any amount of time into that game. Period.
Look, like I said, in any fucking game where I'm blocking in mid-air, the dude is touching my feet and it counts as an overhead, that game is trash, period.
First of all, we was online. Second of all,
Period.
you don't play that game. So your opinion
trash.
is your opinion. It's wrong, but it's your opinion.
It's trash. I don't give a fuck. Yo, pro players holler at me. That shit trash. Period. And see me.
Okay,
I will.
Come
I
on,
will
man.
agree. I gotta agree with AK though. Out of all the Dragon Ball Z games to ever come out, that is definitely my favorite to watch and to actually play. Now it is definitely, it is a close second. I mean, it's a close first because Tenkaichi 3 is right behind that.
Is right behind you. Yeah.
But Dragon Ball Fighters, as far as quality and overall, like you said, like you can put it next to the same frames of animation from the mangas, and they look just alike. Arc System Works really, they showed it.
Did they homework with it? Yep.
Yeah, they put time and effort into that.
Hey, yo, I said what I said.
It's cool. Like I said, it's your opinion. It's wrong, but it's your opinion.
I said what I said.
We're gonna go ahead and go to our number 3s. Crono, what's your number 3?
So, this goes back to what I said, why I can't put BlazBlue over it, because I gotta put Mortal Kombat 9. I have to put Mortal Kombat 9 over it. Mortal Kombat 9 is, when I got older, when I could understand fighting games, is the fighting game that I put probably the most time into. I remember getting out of school in 2010. I remember getting out of school and would play Mortal Kombat all fucking day. That's the first time I ever learned like what it meant to take a character that you like and just sit in the lab and try and figure out new things with that character. So anybody that knows me knows how adamant I am about Reptile getting back in the game. And because of MK9, MK9 made me fall in love with Reptile. Like the things you could do with him, Tyler Lancer, if you're an FGC head and you ever watch tournaments, watch Tyler Lantern's Reptile. He'll do shit where he'll do run cancels into overhead jumps into combos, and the shit would do like 50-60% out of nowhere. And
that's funny. It's a small world.
In the lab for days, for weeks. I think that game alone, I had over 2,000 hours in that game alone. Like hands down. That's probably the most game I've ever played, hands down. So I gotta give it to MK9.
Real quick, I just wanted to say it's definitely a small world, Crono, because I never thought I'd hear anybody else talk about Tyler Lantern videos. I used to steal his combos, but the first half of MK9, I was a Reptile player, and I used to steal all his combos. I got really fucking good with Reptile. I used to win the tournaments at EB Games, GameStop. I used to do all of that shit because I used to steal his combos. That's funny.
That's funny.
What's crazy is a lot of people had him mid tier, but if you knew how to use Reptile, especially once they came out with the Reptile reset, where you do the reset where you jump over the dude, and it's like you gotta guess if it's going to be an overhead or a low. And most of the time, it's always a low. People are trying to block the overhead. Trying to go overhead. And that shit was crazy how much. I think he was like the best character in the game if you know how to use it, hands down.
Chris used to win a lot with him. So.
Since you talking, Shake, go ahead, give us your number 3.
My number 3. Let's see. Like I said, now these older ones are gonna actually start coming down to what kind of fun I had with you bums when we were doing HOM out of my house years ago. Because my number 3s, that's literally are mostly games we sat for fucking hours grinding away, talking shit. My number 3 is gonna have to be Persona arenas. And on, you can
I
lump
still need
that.
my run back, bro.
You can lump that and Ultimax together. They both the same shit. Whatever. Ultimax have more characters, couple of them, same fucking game. That is definitely gonna have to be my number 3 because it was a hard choice. But I'm sitting here like, damn. I thought about Cam winning the first official Max Combo Mondays before the name was House of M Gaming. Max Combo Mondays tournament, and I didn't have any money or anything to give him. So before y'all even got to my house, I went out to the store and bought 2 bags of combos and gave them to him as a prize. I'll never forget that shit.
Picture still on Facebook every once in a while.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, me and you, that was one of the games me and you really went hard against each other at. Like, it was, Persona 4, the Persona 4 series. Hell, me and Lawrence still play that every now and then. Last time we played, you control him, feel free to troll him. I made him rage quit. I hit him with a crazy Teddy air combo. He rage quit. Feel free to call him out on that shit next time you see him. But yeah, Persona series is definitely my top 3. It's my number 3.
Let's go. Harm?
Man, I want to say, yeah, I'll say it. So like Crono, or I'm pretty sure Crono said MK9, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like MK9 is gonna be in my 3rd spot too. And like it's like how Shake said, man, it's crazy y'all talking about Tyler Lantern because I'm like the same way. I didn't think anybody knew who the hell Tyler Lantern was back in the day, but man, I think it's like I don't remember the exact year, but during the summer I used to play MK9 with my friend Garrett. Man, we would play for hours every day, and he'd play Reptile, and he'd watch all the Tyler Lantern videos. He'd steal all his combos. He'd be doing them shits on me, and I'd just be getting my ass worked every day for hours. I'd be sitting on my living room floor feeling like shit playing this game, but I'd always be hitting rematch because I love Mortal Kombat so much. And I'll be playing Smoke, so like I've been trying to do my little Smoke combos and everything.
So bad, bro.
Man, I don't know. His design too was dope. I really liked the design in that game too. Just really the design in general of Mortal Kombat 9, like just the way it looked and played out, like big fan of.
So pretty.
Yeah, for real. Not trying to take away from the newer ones, but
right.
Fun fact: it's been leaked that Human Smoke might be in season 2.
Don't get my hopes up.
Man, man.
Don't get my hopes up.
Yeah, I don't trust NRS. I don't trust NRS with leaks, man, because the minute you hit NRS,
at one point we thought we just knew Rain was in the game from leaks.
Yeah.
I mean, technically he is in the game, not the way you learn.
You want to know?
Ed Boon.
Technically.
Ed Boon is that kind of guy where we'll bust out and go, "Hey, we found out your secret, Ed Boon. We leaked this," and he'll go, "Okay, now we're gonna change it." And like I believe he's that type of dude. He'll fucking change it months before the game comes out. Nope, scrap it. Pick somebody else.
That sounds exactly like Ed. I'm the only one that went for number 3, right? All right, my number 3 is a game that is so slept on, and I wish it got way more attention. When you talk about indie games, most people think of bargain bin, borderline, app games, borderline flash games for people who are older. Man, but when I saw this game being announced and it gave me Marvel 3 vibes, Skullgirls is one of the most slept on fighting games this decade. It hurts because that game plays so much like an old school Capcom fighter, and it gets hardly any love. Like, you have to be a hardcore fighting game player to even know what the fuck I'm talking about. And I'm definitely going to make sure we have some gameplay of that game specifically. But yeah, Skullgirls, when I say I found out, like I did my first juggle on that. I did my first, one of those time trials, that combo videos, actually trying to do all of the stuff. I opened that game the fuck up. And it's sad that like the scene for it is practically dead if you're not playing on PC, or I think you might be right.
The tournament scene is still alive. But it's a very small tournament scene. But it is there is a tournament scene for it. But I get what you're saying. Go ahead.
But the online is practically dead. Trying to find like an actual match with somebody you don't know, or you on a Discord or something like that. I'm pretty sure I could join a Discord and find matches that way. But the fact that you have to go out of your way to do stuff like that, it hurts. But yeah, my number 3 is Skullgirls. Moving on to the silver medals. We're gonna let Harm go first since he hasn't went first yet.
Man, gotta put Dragonball Fighters in that spot, man. That's my shit, man. Man, you be sitting on Dragonball Fighters too much, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Shit is trash, bro.
You
Hell
trash,
no.
correct?
That shit is trash.
Hell no.
You trash. That's what that is.
Shit is
That's some
trash.
top tier gaming right there, man. Top tier fighting
Man.
game.
Here's my thing. It's like any game. It's like MK. With MK11, I actually sat there and practiced the game. I'd be good at the game and still call it trash. Cause I still call MK11 trash, and I love it. It still can be a trash game that you love. It's just trash. It is what it is.
Like I said, that's your opinion. Everybody has their opinion. It's wrong,
That
but
shit
it's
is
your
trash,
opinion.
bro. That game is love because that shit got cinematics. Period.
Okay, whatever, bro.
Yeah.
Shake, go ahead and go with your number 2.
My number 2 fighting game of the decade is probably going to be one that I'm just now getting back into because I got me another Xbox. It's one of the best netcodes out there.
Oh, I know what you're about to say.
It's
I know what
brought
you're
back
saying.
from the fucking dead, and the fact
Yep.
I love Xbox, I love PlayStation. If anybody knows me, I'm not a console dude. I don't give a fuck what the games are. But I do feel the fact that this game, because it was only one console, it killed it. They kind of fucked it up. But hey, licenses, Microsoft owns the company that made it. It's Killer Instinct. Killer Instinct, or
That
the
is
game.
so good.
The game is
That game
fucking
is so
fantastic. Dude, I played it last night and it was like getting on a fresh bike and like, damn, you know what I mean? Like with the pegs and all of that shit. You got the chain links and all the good shit. It's like getting on a perfect bike. And it's beautiful, man.
Ass from a girl you
Yeah.
Wow.
Man, I didn't know we could go that dirty with it. I would have gladly compared it to a woman. I just
Yeah,
know
so-
You was there at the last. You was there at the last motherfucking podcast.
That
when
is
we
true.
said.
right. It
When
is
the Dark Souls
definitely
smell
good.
come out, you know what it is, yo. That's Killer Instinct.
That, yeah. It's that, yes, it's good pussy. I'm telling you. The Killer Instinct is, and the thing is about it for me, one of the best netcodes in fighting games over this last year, and nobody gives it credit. Like, nobody's
Yep.
barely talking.
Yep.
So,
Well, y'all know
yeah,
the hashtag is out.
yeah, bring back. I'm with it. I've been hashtagged. I've hashtagged it a few times. Please bring back KI. I support all the people that have developed that game. I follow them all. Dude, bring back KI.
Since we on this play everywhere thing, put it on the Switch. Like, please.
That's what I'm saying. Like, since Microsoft and Nintendo were shaking hands, the game, no offense, it doesn't have like super crazy graphics that are unheard of, unseen
That game
before.
is
So
damn near 10 years old. It can run.
that's
on
what I'm
the
saying.
Switch.
Right, you can run that.
That shit can run on the Switch.
Thank you. You could take it down a few polygons and put the shit on the Switch just to get it some more exposure.
As
so
long
it
as
can
it's
get out
60
there.
frames, I really don't care.
60 frames and try your hardest to keep that good ass netcode. And man, that's what I'm saying. If it goes multi-platform, Killer Instinct 2 goes multi-platform. I don't give a
It needs
fuck
to.
what it's on. PlayStation, Xbox. I hope it's on all
I'll
of
buy
them just so
PC
you
for
can
that game.
bring
I
back.
legit was thinking about doing it, bro. Just
That's
for
what
that
I'm saying. Bring back KI. So yeah, Killer Instinct is my number 2.
Crono?
Guilty Gear Rev 2.
Ooh,
Good
good choice.
Good
Good
choice.
choice.
Off the
Another
pure,
sexy game.
off the pure fact that I know somebody listening to this, how you like that game and don't like DB Fighters? This shit fucking trash. But real talk, that game off the tutorial alone is, if fighting games implement tutorials like that where it actually puts you in situations where you have to learn how to use the mechanics the proper way. They're like, of course, you gotta go online and get your ass whipped to get the true proper, but to
Right.
give you basically a groundwork, give you a plan on how to use everything. I think Guilty Gear knocked that shit out the park. We already know the gameplay of this shit. We already hip on that. That don't even need to be said. But
That's another OG game. That game been going around since what, PS2?
but I think I want to say if more fighting games, because I'm looking at it like what revolutionized certain fighters. That's what my list is more off of. Like what changed certain shit in fighting games. I think if more games implement that type of tutorial where it actually tries to teach people how to use it and what situation to use certain moves, that the FGC would become a lot bigger. Honestly, I think it really would, because that's the biggest complaint I've heard, is that it's hard to learn. Like when you go into practice, you don't know what the fuck to do. People don't know what the fuck lab mean. Everybody talk about
Yeah.
frame data and shit, and I'm like, bro, frame data don't mean shit if you don't even know the word lab.
Frame
You
data don't mean shit if you can't throw a hot duking, bro.
don't mean
Right.
shit. Period. If you can't, you
Now-
don't know when it's a light, heavy, or medium punch. Like fuck out of here.
Now, with that argument, that's one of my, I won't say it's an issue. It's just one of the things that kind of makes me raise my eyebrow when it comes to fighting games. Because now, what you're saying about, not to ramble too much, as far as like training mode and tutorials, it also is on you to do the work to actually pay attention and read that shit and learn it. Because you have plenty of people the game has a crazy tutorial mode, like Guilty Gear and Killer Instinct has a really crazy tournament tutorial that teaches you all the terms, all of that shit.
11 got a decent training mode.
Mortal
But-
Kombat, that's what I'm saying. If you actually look at Guilty Gear, not to cut you off, if you look at when Guilty Gear did there and look at how fighting games are, shit, no. And Guilty Gear
Skullgirls
legit.
actually has a really good one.
Yep.
If you
Skullgirls
really
has
look
one of the
at-
best tutorials.
If you look at it, like people complain about tutorials and shit. If you look at it, Guilty Gear, way people are actually looking at tutorials in gaming by itself. So
Yeah. But like I said, it's also on you to do the work to actually pay attention, and actually really focus and inhale that shit,
Right.
look, I'll tell anybody this. I'd rather go online and get my ass whooped 50 times until I started figuring out what the fuck I'm doing wrong than sit in the lab all fucking day. Either way, you learn it. Like, I hate people that's lab heavy. You gotta go to practice. No, the fuck you don't. If you are the type of person that you play better by getting your ass whooped, like, all right, what am I doing wrong? I can't use this move. Should I use this move? You learn like that. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But
Some of us did learn how to swim by just daddy throwing us in the pool. Some of us did learn that. Some of our daddies threw us right in the pool and said, there you go, son, flop around.
my instance in the Marine Corps, I got kicked in the pool. And I had to learn how to
That's what
swim
I'm
real
saying.
quick. So,
Right.
it is what it is.
All right. We on our number 2, right?
We're on number 1. We're on number 2.
Real
number
quick.
I haven't did my number yet. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say, if you want to see me scream like a bitch, come to Frosty Faustings, because I'm a Faust player in Guilty Gear, and his announcement trailer is going to be shown at the end of the Guilty Gear tournament at Frosty Faustings. So if you want to see Shake scream like a bitch, come to Frosty Faustings and shit.
I'm gonna be there.
Okay.
My number 2 probably will go to. I know everybody's singing praises of Tekken 7, how good it is, and it's a really good game. But if I had to pick my favorite Tekken that it came out this decade, it gotta go to Tag 2. Just off of how much time I'd have spent, how many people I'd have met off of that game. Like, I legit, like, going back to House of M again, Tag 2 was one of the first games where I actually legit thought about, of what a tournament was. I actually went into the training mode, and there's certain stuff in that game you can't just do in Tekken 7, like the bound combos and the special tag grabs and stuff. That's just certain stuff that's just not going to be, because it's not a tag game. I love Tekken 7, but I'd be lying if I say I put more hours in Tekken 7 than Tag 2. Tag 2 definitely is one of my second favorite that ever came out this decade as far as fighting games go. I think we should go ahead and give our honorable mentions before we give our number 1s. So, Harm, I'm gonna let you go again since you haven't been talking for a little bit.
Number 1, man. Mortal Kombat.
Honorable
shit.
Honorable mention.
Well,
All right.
we know him.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, act like y'all didn't hear that. Honorable mention, man. Shit. Street Fighter 4, man. For me, Street Fighter 4. That's really what.
We'll say Super Street Fighter 4.
Okay.
It'll be Champion Super Street Fighter 4 2012 edition.
Right.
Was the one that came in this decade.
So yeah, that really as far as like getting me into the competitive scene, that kind of like pushed me into getting into fighting games before actually playing a fighting game, because I used to watch that shit on Twitch, and like I'd always be like, man, how the fuck are these people so good at this game? And after watching it for a little bit, I went out and bought it, and I bring it home, and I'm getting my ass kicked online. I'm still at that like age range where like my mind just can't handle a fighting game, or not handle it, but like I just not understand the shit. I'm still playing Call of Duty every day, thinking those are the best games, just shooting shit up. But for some reason, I loved watching that shit. So I'll put that as an honorable mention because that's what really, I guess, pushed me into the competitiveness and getting into fighting games.
Crono, your honorable mention?
Smash Bros. Ultimate. I'm not a Smash fan. I won't act like I am, but nobody can knock that game's success. Nobody can deny.
You can't deny what they did.
Yeah, you can't deny what they did, and the people that say it's not a fighting game and shit.
Y'all stupid.
Oh no, fuck that. I'm about to be an asshole, yo. Everybody that says it's not a fighting game, how y'all feel? Favorite fight party game? Dumbasses. Like fuck out of here.
I think that's just more.
I said how are people that saying this is a fighting game? I wonder how they felt when your favorite fighting game lost to a party game. That's fucking crazy, yo. You see how stupid you sound? You see how that shit sounds stupid? Yeah, that shit a fighting game, bro. It doesn't. How do I put it? I don't even know how to. It's not your traditional fighting game, but it's a fighting game. It's just people. Right. It's mostly the old game.
That's all.
Yeah, it's a brawler.
The thing is, yeah, don't take that too. That's really just the FGC trolling Smash fans. That's really all that shit ever has. That's all it ever has been. They're not fucking partying. They're beating the shit out of each other. Captain Falcon and Pikachu don't sit down and parlay. No, they punch each other the fucking face. Like it's just a big ass troll from the FGC to the Smash community. That's all it is. If
you ever been on that Fighting Game X page on Facebook, they take that shit so fucking seriously, bro.
Dude, I leave that shit. Actually, no, sometimes it's kind of funny to watch, bro.
Oh, the best argument I
page
had.
is full of people who just thirst for like cartoon characters and stuff, and I'll just leave it like that.
Bro, I'll put it like this. When you argue with somebody, you tell them a variation of a fighting game, beat them up, and they get so mad when you say that, when it's actually the truth, that some fighting games deprive from beat 'em ups. I'm like, y'all really need to learn your history about fighting games before you speak on fighting games. But it is what it is.
Honorable mention, Shake?
I have 4 of them. Not gonna ramble about them. Just gonna name them all.
Okay.
Tatsunoko versus Capcom for the Wii.
Ooh, that was slept on.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I know, right? Such a good game. Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
Slept on again. They tried to go dime the fuck out of that game. That's what happened.
Under Night Inburst.
That's another good one.
Another really good one. And my last one, damn it, I literally just forgot it. But I'll just put, I'll just say Dragonball Fighters. That Dragonball Fighters would have been in my list, but because I legit just forgot the one I was about to say. I'll just say Dragonball Fighters.
All right. My honorable mentions, MK11. I love that game. It's not my favorite Mortal Kombat game that came out this decade. Y'all will see what that one is later. Another honorable mention I can give is most well-deserving would definitely be Ultimate Marvel 3. And as much as this game got shit on Marvel Infinite, just because of the way that game plays is really good. It might not have the best roster, but the players, the gameplay is there. My last honorable mention is gonna go to Injustice 2, just because how fucking pretty that game is, and how it's quote unquote dead, but like I ain't gonna sit up here and lie. I put in a fair amount of hours into Injustice 2. I actually bought that over Marvel Infinite. Funny story. And I definitely am a bigger Marvel head than I am DC, but you can't sit up here and deny how good that game is.
I've never played it.
Injustice 2 is really good. Really good. If you like interesting games, you'll like Injustice. So we're gonna go ahead. Everybody's gonna give their number ones. I say Chrono. We'll start with your number one, and we'll just go down the list.
So I got 2 games. So the first one is gonna be Tekken 7.
Okay.
And Tekken 7 is the game. The reason why I love it so much, it's a love-hate, but I love it so much because Tekken is the first game that ever basically had somebody, we talked about it before, where you have somebody put you in your place and you realize you ain't as good as you think you are. And when you get embarrassed like that, it was the first game that I ever embarrassed on in front of everybody in Yumacon. And it was either... Yeah, it was a humble. Oh no, fuck! I didn't get humbled at all. I'm still talking about shit. I put it like this: it was the one of the games that was like, okay, are you gonna stay here and be sad, or are you gonna get the fuck back up and go practice? So that right there by itself, not all fighting games have to be like, we all know Tekken 7 is an amazing fucking game. It surpassed fucking Street Fighter 5. But sometimes the most amazing game to you could be something that really taught you something. You know what I'm saying? My second game is going to be, and people aren't going to believe this. Actually, I'm sorry, it's 3. My second game is going to be Soul Calibur 6. Because Soul Calibur 6 was the first game I ever played in tournament. Ever. I played that in Yumacon, and like for me to play it one time, I almost got out of the pools. Literally almost made the top 8. My first time doing it in 2017. AK was there when we were there money mashing and playing the tournament, beating everybody ass. So, and then my last is going to be Sam Show, because Sam Show is the game that I want to get into heavily because of how much how fundamentally sound it is. It's like, it's a game that didn't lose its identity trying to do too much. And I see why it's such a niche game. It's why it's such a great game, because it does teach you. It's the type of game that you have to take all the mechanics you know and use them to perfection to win. You got to know how to use flips. You got to know when to press a button, when not to press a button. You got to know when to deflect, when to dodge, when to grab. Like, that shit right there, it seems so overwhelming. But I feel like Sam Show would be the perfect game if you want to really get into the fighting game community. That's the game you start with. So those are my 3 number ones.
Okay. Harm?
Man, you already heard what my number 1 was, but definitely MKX, man. And there's so many reasons why it's my number 1. Main reason, combos. The combos in that game were so fucking ridiculous and insane. Like, you could just yup. The run cancels, bro. As soon as you get someone in the air, you juggling them for what feels like 5 fucking minutes, and then you can end the juggle with a brutality. Like, playing as Predator, I'm a big Predator fan. I got a Predator poster in my apartment room. Back at my parents' house, in my old room, I had an AVP poster. They put Predator and MKX. I was mind blown. I'm fucking motherfuckers up in that game. I'm got him in the air. I'm ended shit with the brutality where he, what's he do? He grabs him by the throat and chops him in half or whatever. Everything about that game felt so good to me. And bro, that's why it's my number 1. Like, I have the best memories playing it. And I like MK11, but I still go back and play MKX to this day. And every time I do, I have a better time than I do on the MK11, to be honest. Not that MK11's bad. MK11 just feels more safe to me. It feels like they try to make the game more safe and not as insane as MKX was.
The biggest thing I got about MK11, as much as we play that game, I think we've all said it at one point. I feel like the community complained about shit that didn't need complaint, and when they fixed it, the community complained more because shit got fixed.
Yeah.
And then it fucked us up because it's stuff we weren't complaining about, and then now we're not having a good time. Now we gotta relearn everything, and we're not having a good time, and we're like, all right, who wants to play fighters?
Right.
Yeah. The whole thing with MKX was like the 50-50 was the best thing, because MKX with the 50-50s, you had to learn how to defend. In MK11, you can kind of bypass defending. Like, you can butt mash and get away with some shit that you're not supposed to get away with. And we
You
all
have
do
too
it. Like,
many defensive options almost. Not even. It sounds weird to say, but you have almost too many. You got both of the little up 3, up 2 things. You know what I mean? Like there's like a lot of ways.
You got the
Yeah, you have so many ways to interrupt the other guy's flow. And like you said in MKX, when you got that flow, you felt like you earned it. Like it felt good. You felt like you earned that bust ass you were putting on the dude. MK11, you barely can get started and it's already over. Now you got to figure out something else, and it's not as fun to me. It's not a bad game, just not as fun.
And my number one, I'm going back. I have too much nostalgia attached to this game. When you want to say a game that you can legit sit down and watch like a movie, when you want to say a game that had shit that you normally never seen before, the crypt in that game, it's Mortal Kombat 9. The crypt in that game, the amount of hours I put into that game. I still have my PlayStation 3 and original copy of MK9 just because of how much nostalgia I have attached to it. You can go online with your buddy and play with a couch co-op at that. Like me and my brother would legit go online fighting with each other on the same motherfucking couch and fight people together. Like that shit was dope as fuck to me. It had a tag feature. It had the most hugest roster for a Mortal Kombat game minus Armageddon. Like that game in terms of the new Mortal Kombat literally is the best. I want to say. I know it's slow. I know a lot of people don't like going back to it because of how slow it is. But I love that game. I had so many characters I played with. I played with Sindel. I played with Smoke. I played with Liu Kang. I played with Johnny Cage. I played with half the damn roster in that game. And the fact that it's pretty much brought the super crazy story mode into fighting games now. A lot of fighting games would not have the story modes they have if it wasn't for that game. So my number one for this decade, it gotta go to MK9.
Yo, fun fact, yo. Freddy Krueger was the shit in that game.
Hell yeah.
He was the shit, like, bro. Let's not forget that. In that game, bust asses. Scarlet, the real Scarlet, not. I like the new Scarlet, but the real Scarlet, the one that was tournament winning everything Scarlet, was broken as shit Scarlet. They had to nerf her to the ground. 2 variations of the game later, she was that fucking good. That shit crazy, yo.
The costumes in that game, like, it was one of the first games where I was really heavy DLC, that and Marvel 3, but I'll be lying to you if I said I haven't. Like, I can still boot that game up now and have fun. But yeah, that's my number one.
It's like what Harm said. Like when you do a combo in that game, that shit felt so good when you doing 80, 90%. I don't care what nobody said. You hit somebody for 80, 90% on a combo. You worked in the lab for 4 days straight, and you finally do it online. I should get rewarded for that shit. I don't care what nobody says. Stop all this defensive shit, yo. If I bust my ass off to learn some shit in practice, I took days, hours, weeks to do this shit. Let me do it, bro. Like, period.
All right. Anybody got any last things they want to say before we cut the vid?
The shake
I
says?
never got my number one.
Yeah,
right, I never got mine.
Oh shit, my bad. Go ahead, say number one.
All right, real quick, before we even get into this number one, I had to kick Fighters back off the list because I remember what my other honorable mention was. It was King of Fighters 13.
Oh, I forgot about those games. Oh my god.
Damn, you want to talk about somebody like me who's a fucking old ass dude when it comes to fighting games, who loves sprite-based fighting games.
That easily the best sprite game.
That is the best. One of the best sprite games ever made, and still to this day, I still rock that shit. I will boot that shit up for breakfast. I love King of Fighters 13. That was my other honorable mention. My number one fighting game of the decade, man. It's definitely the game. Like you said, this is one definitely memory based because of the memories it brought. playing this with the homies, you, AK, and then all the rest of you guys at HOM that played this game, and we all like watching y'all level up. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever played a game where I felt like I legit made new friends, old friends off of this damn game. Like it had everything. It had the look. It had the combos. Going to tournaments and get my ass whooped, but why just sitting, being in those crowds a couple of times, all that yelling and screaming, watching Marvel, man, it gave us some of the most influential shit that goes on in fighting games today. The He Goes Low, all of that stuff, man. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom is definitely my favorite. It had everything, man. You know, I really wish Marvel Infinite could have came a lot harder, but you know how that type of shit works.
I mean, like I said, the gameplay was there. They just dropped the ball with the roster and the rollout.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. Anybody want to give their last few things? I'm gonna let you guys do your outros if you're not, and then we'll go from there. Anybody got any last things they want to say before we do outros?
Go ahead.
Yo, this video probably gonna drop like an hour or two after I drop my video. So if y'all catch this video first, go ahead and watch that Cold Vein video. We doing the origin story for Cyrax, yo. Yo, I'm gonna tell y'all now, episode 1, y'all gonna be like, that don't look like. I got episode 2 uploading right now, and I actually went back because I didn't know how dark skin you can make them. I actually made the dude kind of look like Cyrax with green eyes. So y'all gonna like episode 2. Y'all gonna like episode 1 too, but y'all gonna like episode 2.
All right. Harm, go ahead and shout your socials out and everything. Shout your YouTube videos out and everything. So.
All right, man. Y'all can go and follow me on Twitter and Instagram at harm_OLA, and YouTube. If you just YouTube search harm space OLA, my music channel should pop up. And I just started a gaming channel called Harm Kakarot Jordan. You just search that. That should pop up too. It's only got 2 videos out now, but I'm trying to get on my gaming tip, man. So if y'all want to hear anything more from me, you can go and check me out and all that.
Shake, you got any social medias or anything like that you want to shout out?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. I'll shout out, I guess, Instagram at Lil Mark the Artist. I don't really use too much of my socials anymore. Other than that, you can primarily find me in the House of M Gaming page on Facebook. That's primarily all I really use. I don't really use my Facebook and Twitter as much as I used to. Yeah, that's about it.
Crono?
Y'all know where to find me.
AK here. We're gonna go ahead and end it here. This, like I said, please check out that Crono vid. Check out Harm's channel, his music and his gaming channel. We're gonna throw his stuff in the description. Also, I don't know exactly if we're gonna stream it or not. We might grab a couple of gameplay, but Mark Shake is planning on doing a tournament this Sunday for a couple of fighting games. If anybody's interested, we'll drop the info for it in the description. But you want to go a little in depth on that, just in case we can get some randoms to show up?
Oh yeah, the tournaments are called Dub City. I got $60 on the line, $20 per game. Street Fighter 5, Tekken 7, and Dragonball Fighters. This Sunday, if I'm not mistaken, I put Street Fighter 5 is at 5, Tekken 7 was at 7, and Dragon Ball Fighters I think was at 10. Okay. But yeah, man. I'll put it, if you want to comment on the post that's in the Facebook group, I'll put you in the brackets. I'll actually be doing the brackets today for each of those games. And if you show up, I mean, it's just fun, man. We're gonna try to win $20. I'll have a PSN party up, and I'll be announcing it from there. It's gonna be live stream, excuse me. So bring your A game, man.
Okay. Well, if nobody else has anything else, this Boy Productions, aka Nerd Boy Podcast, and this is just a little extra video we gave out to y'all, and we out.
Later.
Peace.
Later.
Maybe.